One of my favorite movies, and I don't know, and I wanted to ask because I haven't talked to anybody who was in it, was movie 43.
Oh, gosh, that was so much fun.
Was it great? So the hearsay is that all of you, it had like the biggest stars in the world in it, that all of you didn't realize what you were getting into.
No, we did.
Oh, you did?
It was yes, we did. But it was like, it even went further than that. I mean, just, it was just a blast.
Well, did you know that it was that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that that's not a...
I read the script,
I can't... Like, yeah, go ahead.
Guy has balls hanging off his chin. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know why that didn't go through the roof. It's just so bold.
Yeah. Pete Fairley.
Yeah.
Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
My favorite recurring joke on this channel.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Rankin. I found that random clip of Dennis Quaid actually talking about movie 43. So, you know what? I'll play that as the cold open. Why not? But we're here to talk about Dennis Quaid movies. It should be a lot of fun. We've got a fun panel here. We've got Matt Kearns. Matt, how's it going?
I'm doing very well. It's been a hot minute, I feel like, since I've been on Rankum. I genuinely can't remember the last time I was here. So when Malcolm was like, do you want to come on and talk about Dennis Quaid? I was like, yes. I'm a very big fan of that man. Been a big fan since I was a kid, and there was a movie that kind of played on ABC Family all the time growing up. I've been a big fan of Dennis Quaid. So it should be fun, even if I haven't seen nearly as many films of his as I thought before doing this.
We've also got Stephen here. Stephen, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. I'm kind of in a similar boat in that I do have a lot of blind spots for Dennis Quaid, but I've seen a lot of his movies as well, and some of my personal favorites he's in as well.
We've also got Jordan Anderson here. Jordan, how's it going?
Going good. And one thing Howie Mandel is known for is his infamous pranks. And when he says he likes movie 43, I don't know if I trust that guy or Dennis Quaid. So we'll see.
Also, what has seemed to be the trend and since the last time we've got the other Jordan here, JPO. JPO, how's it going?
It's great. I can't wait to have that debate because I know we're gonna have that movie 43 debate, knowing some of you people. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting when that happens. See what we lie on the fence of that.
I mean, maybe it comes up, maybe it doesn't.
Oh, it's going to. I don't trust you, Bungum.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be a lot of fun. How Rankin works, we each go around the horn and nominate a movie if it belongs on the list, and everyone else say yes or no to it. And if it gets the majority of yeses, it'll make the list. And fun fact, like my mum's watching. My mum actually told me like she gets Harrison Ford and Dennis Quaid mixed up. I'm not too sure how.
All those white people look alike, huh?
I can understand that because I talk about that in a video I'm working on that may or may not have to do with a movie I might bring up.
Sure.
But with that, we're going to go to Matt first. Matt, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
All right, I'm bringing this up because, as you know, Malcolm, I love to just plug my own shit on other people's shows. So I'm bringing up a movie that Dennis Quaid, one of his early big forays into blockbusters, he did a sequel to a 1975 film. And it was in the third dimension of terror. Talk about Jaws 3. Listen to me. It's funny you bring up the Harrison Ford thing because, genuinely speaking, I think in this movie, Dennis Quaid does have a lot of Harrison Ford like swagger to him as Mike Brody. I know Jaws 3 is a movie that I think gets a lot of unfound hate. I think effects wise, yeah, it's rough because we're watching it not in the way it's supposed to be seen. Story wise, however, it's probably the best sequel to Jaws. It's a really interesting plot of we have seen the shark at this point twice attacking beaches. putting it into SeaWorld where you have all these people who think they can control the shark and they can't. And you have Dennis Quaid playing the grown-up Mike Brody from the first 2 movies. And what I like is that, again, everybody else, Louis Gossett Jr., they all think they can control the shark. And Mike, who has seen his father take on these things, lived in Amity, he's like, you are all crazy. We can't control this thing. And he's right. And I think for an early Dennis Quaid role, I think he's funny in this role. I think he's a great lead. I think it shows what he's going to do with his career later on. Kind of that really good, again, I said, Harrison Ford leading man swagger. I understand this is probably not going to make the list. That's why I had to bring it up first. But if you hate Jaws 3, just wait, because maybe when my second look episode comes out, you might be willing to give it a second look. So plug, Jaws 3.
Stephen, what do you say about Jaws 3D?
This is tough because it's not a good movie. It's tough because it's not a good movie, but it is kind of a guilty pleasure. It's a movie that I might have said yes to later on if we were running out of stuff to say yes to. I don't know if I can say yes though at this time. So I'm gonna say no. I wouldn't be angry though if it made the list.
I can never win because if I bring up these types of movies at the end, people are always like, well, if you brought up at the beginning, I might have said yes. I can't win ever.
Even just being nice, it's no matter what.
And that's fine.
I mean,
okay.
spoilers.
That's fine. I knew it was a launch. I like his head. Just wanted to plug myself.
But Jordan, I know how you feel about the original Jaws. Have you seen Jaws 3D?
So yeah, funny enough, I have in fact seen it, and I was trying while you guys were talking to play some bits of the trailer for Jaws 3D to see if there's anything I could squeeze out of there that I could say that I actually like, and I couldn't do it. It's just not good, and I'm a fan of sharks, but most shark movies in general missed the mark for me, and so yeah, I'm gonna have to say no to Jaws 3D. Sorry.
JPO, what do you say about Jaws 3D?
I mean, first of all, I'm ashamed of your shameless plug. I mean, it's like as if I were to say, where would you find a question like, not for the first time, but who played father and son in the animated movie Strange World? Enter Jake Gyllenhaal, Dennis Quaid. A question like that would be on a show about trivia live over at the Periscope. Like, I would never say that. Periscope.
Yeah, but you're a better person than I am.
Lots of great stuff.
Yeah. You're a better person than I am. I have a history of plugging myself on Breakum. That's why I come on here. Actually, Malcolm
I did a plug saying I'm not doing a plug, but I did the plug because I wasn't plugging. Right?
Yeah, he was plugging his own stuff.
Oh, is that what you were doing? Oh, I didn't realize that.
Inception. See the journal still spinning. Also, the sentence the best Jaws sequel doesn't help your case. But hey, I'm happy.
It doesn't make it any less true.
I'm happy to meet one of the.
No, actually, I like Jaws
movie. That makes your case even worse. That's not even the best sequel.
Yeah,
it's my
opinion. Much love to everyone.
I just simply haven't seen any of the Jaws sequels. Maybe I'll give them a first look.
Malcolm, I was hoping to go back to the old live show. You'd be the one to give me a point when no one else would. You didn't even just lied for me. All right.
I mean, I was almost yes.
Second look, Jaws 3 coming soon.
Okay, I'm scared Steven's only seen like 7 movies. Then if this is his second least favorite or favorite Jaws movie, his third favorite Jaws movie, and he almost maybe'd it. What have you seen? 4 movies of his? Come on, I'm afraid of.
Hey, he has seen 6.
All right, about that.
And Jaws 3 is 2 of them.
He's seen at least 3.
Anyway,
he's seen Jaws 3 and Jaws 3D.
Anyway, Stephen, what is the first movie you're going to bring out?
I mean, and I've been around here long enough that it should be probably obvious what I'm going to bring up first. It was in my top 128. It's not necessarily what I would say is his best movie, but it's probably my favorite movie of his. And that is My Name's in It Says It, Frequency. This movie came out at when I was working at Regal, and so every time I was done my shift, I would just go in and see whatever was left of it. So I must have seen the last 20 or 30 minutes of this movie like 20 times at the time. And I just love it. It's just a great sci-fi story, sort of time travel. I mean, they reconnect through time, and they do change the past. And both Quaid and Jim Caviezel, unfortunately, he turned out to be a crazy guy, but are both great. It's got a great supporting cast like Elizabeth Mitchell, Andre Brower, and I just loved every minute of this movie from beginning to end. And also, I'm not big on country music, but I love Garth Brooks' song at the end of the movie.
Jordan, what do you say about Frequency?
Well, just because you love the Lord doesn't make you a crazy guy. Come on. I mean, it depends how far you go with it, like Jim Caviezel.
Oh, he's not crazy for being religious.
Yeah,
he's crazy for a bunch of other.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Frequency is one I really liked. It's actually one that I connected with my grandparents watching, and they showed it to me, and it was really good. And yeah, I think that I can't remember if we actually do we see Dennis Quaid on screen, or do we just hear his voice? I can't remember, but he is in it.
Obviously not a big fan of the movie then. Damn.
Well, I am, but I just don't. I remember, like, if we see him, I remember his voice. I remember him connecting.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah, like
okay. As Jim Caviezel's dad, but it's just been a minute. But and then also, yeah, I remember Elizabeth Mitchell in there. She's good at, and apparently, as long as Google's not doing me dirty here, it says Michael Cera is an early role. He has a cameo in it. I don't know.
Well, he plays Noah Emmerich's character, I think, as a kid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was no, it was actually Stephen Droff that played the kid version.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Were you Googling there? Do you just know Frequency really well?
I was Googling it.
But
wait, then who was?
But speaking of Michael Cera, if you go watch the Take Your Shoes Off podcast with Rick Glassman, that I'm a big fan of, he says that he has Paul Rudd on, but it's all a bit just to have Michael Cera on instead of Paul Rudd. He did that this week.
This is Gordy 10 years, Gordy Jr., whoever that is.
Yeah, Gordy, that's Noah Emmerich's character.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, on Wikipedia, it kind of has it confusing because they have Michael Cera as Gordy Hirsch as a separate character, but then like this under Noah Emmerich's character, it's got Stephen Droff as 6-year-old Gordo. So that's what
you're using Wikipedia.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say yes to it because the movie's really good. It's really heartfelt. It's really cool, kind of like sci-fi movie of sorts. And yeah, I think that's fun. So I'll say yes.
JPO, what do you say about Frequency?
Yeah, no, it's a definite yes for me here. It's a really unique concept here, and yeah, it actually is like pretty like heartfelt here, just a father and son relationship, and the whole what if he could save him and whatnot, and yeah, this is a good performance by the main two, so it's a definite yes.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen Frequency. It was on my list to try and find, but I just couldn't find it anywhere to watch for this. But random fact I just found out is apparently like early in the production, Stallone was rumored to be playing Dennis Quaid's role of Frank Sullivan.
I like Stallone, but I'm glad
I probably see Frequency then by now.
Yeah. But Matt, what do you say about Frequency?
I think I just said it. I haven't seen it. If Stallone was in it, probably have seen it. No, honestly, this is one of the ones when I was looking up movies of his I hadn't seen that intrigues me. But for some reason, maybe they just added. But I think the other day when I was looking, it didn't say it was on Tubi, or else I probably would have watched it. So, but I'll put it on the list, and I'll think about if Stallone would have done better when I do find it.
He wouldn't have done
what I do.
I like Stallone. I'm a fan of Stallone, but he wouldn't have done better.
But that Frequency is going to make the list. Jordan, I'm going to go to you next. What is the first movie you're going to bring up?
Well, speaking of shameless plugs, if we're doing that, I'm going to talk about a little movie that's going to show up next month in July for the 1993 Ladder series that we do every month on on July 7th, 9th, and 11th, all week long, a 3-part series. And there's a little movie from 1993 that I watched for the first time, and I was shocked how much I actually really dug this movie. But it's a movie called Wilder Napalm. So I want to bring it up early, just because that's where these kind of lesser known ones should get brought up, I feel like. And yeah, Dennis Quaid, and then Arliss Howard, they play two brothers that I guess have a falling out over a girl that's played by Deborah Winger's character, but they find out that they can control fire, though, so they can make fire out of thin air and like just make things burn, and so they become estranged. But then one day, Arliss Howard's character is working in some little booth in a parking lot, and the circus rolls into town, and Dennis Quaid's one of the clowns, along with Jim Varney as a crazy carny, kind of like the manager of the circus, and kind of playing like somewhat goofy, but not as goofy as his Ernest character quite. And also Arliss Howard is a firefighter, because that kind of adds to the fire thing. But then Dennis Quaid kind of wants to try to reconnect, and it's the whole thing, and you just see how it all plays out. But it's actually surprisingly good, surprisingly heartfelt. The music's really good, and it's fun, and yeah, I had a good time. So I don't know if anyone else has even seen it, but it's called Wilder Napalm, and I had heard of it because when we were doing research for the 93 Ladder series, that movie came up, and we kept it on there because it sounded interesting. So yeah, I'll say Wilder Napalm.
JPO, what do you say about Wilder Napalm?
I've never heard of it nor seen it. When I was looking at, I remember thinking, "Cool poster." That's like his hair's on fire. Somebody's hair's on fire, but I've never seen it.
I actually watched it for this. I struggled finding it, but then I found someone had uploaded it to YouTube, and it's still there. So I watched.
Well, here it's just playing on like Amp, or no, I think it's like Paramount Plus or something like that. It's playing on like one of those things.
Yeah.
But I found it pretty easy here.
Yeah, we don't have like Paramount Plus isn't a thing over here. But fun fact, it's written by the creator of Breaking Bad.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. But yeah, I had more fun with the movie than I thought I was going to have. It was just entertaining, and I think Dennis Quaid and Arliss Howard, they definitely played off well together, especially in that the final scene, like final moments, and that it was just really entertaining and all that. So I'll give this a yes. But Matt,
correction, the movie's streaming on Amazon Prime. That's where it is here. So, anyways,
I like JPO have not seen it nor heard of it until right now. But Malcolm, way to go, way to clue the YouTube gods into finding it now. Poor user Y212818 is about to get a copyright strike on his channel.
Look, who knows? Like, it depends on how long it's been there. If they even care about that movie to want to get. Yeah. But Stephen, what do you say about Wilder Napalm?
Unfortunately, I too have not heard of it nor seen it, but I have it noted now because since I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be in the 93 tournament fights. So I have it noted. And if you're saying it was written by Vince Gilligan, that definitely intrigues me, since Vince Gilligan not only was he the writer and creator of Breaking Bad, but he was a writer on the X-Files, which is one of my favorites as well.
But unfortunately, Wilder Napalm isn't going to make the list. But JPO, we're going to go to you next.
You know what everyone hates? Fucking traffic. But the movie's really good, so let's get that on the list here. This is the Steven Soderbergh ensemble cast. War on Drugs. Lots of gripping stuff here. Fun eclectic cast too of other people that not even necessarily you always see in dramas like a Louis Guzman or Topher Grace, but yeah, Dennis Quaid's good. Michael Douglas kills it. Kate Beta Zeta, Catherine Zeta-Jones is good. It's Steven Soderbergh. It's great. Traffic sucks, but the movie's good.
I quite like Traffic myself. I don't think it sucks that bad, but the movie. I agree with JPO. I think the movie's good.
Why would you like Traffic? That's weird. the actual traffic. Oh
I
no.
don't know if you have the traffic jam, it means you can sort of relax a little bit. But
What psychopath are you, Malcolm?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who
It's a good
relaxes
approach.
in traffic?
I mean,
Which traffic,
good for him
like
that he
car
can do that.
traffic or drug trafficking, which
Well,
is of course
yeah.
what the movie's
Yeah,
about.
Malcolm.
no comment. Anyway, but on to the
Sorry,
movie.
I love it when the riders come through looking for the ring. I'll get a nice 5-hour break.
But anyway, I think the movie is good. Like the car, it's a lot of fun, and yeah, so it's a yes for me. Matt, what do you say about Traffic?
I have seen Traffic basically every day of my life for the 10 years I've been driving. Have I seen the movie Traffic? No. It was on my list to watch, but I just, unfortunately, my weekend became unexpectedly more busy than I thought it was going to. But I really want to check it out because, the cast, as he said, it's a really stacked cast. So yeah, definitely want to see. Also, wasn't this the movie that is the reason why Ridley Scott didn't win Best Director for Gladiator? I want to say they gave it
Soderbergh won instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Stephen, what do you say about Traffic?
It's definitely yes. It's one of his best movies for sure, and I would say Soderbergh probably deserved best director, even though I probably do like Gladiator slightly more. So I'm good with the splitting best picture and director that year.
Both great. I mean, it's such different kind of styles. Where I can't really argue one over the other.
And also, I don't remember if Castaway was nominated for best picture or not, but that's one of my favorites from the year as well.
I figured it was.
But
Dungeons and Dragons was 2000. That movie fucking rocked.
Well, that was definitely nominated for Best Picture.
2000, obviously a great year for Quaid.
Best Razzie.
2000, obviously a great year for Quaid because that's both Traffic and Frequency came out that year.
But Jordan, what do you say about Traffic?
Yeah. Traffic, the movies are really good. I'm glad they didn't call it that, but yeah, it's got a really stacked cast. It's also Benicio del Toro kind of like he does those drug trafficking movies with like Sicario and that. But there's some pretty harrowing stuff in there with like the not only the like drugs and the war on drugs, but then you see like some of the characters like I believe it's Erica Christensen. She's like a heroin addict or something like that, and she's like the daughter of a judge or something like that. And yeah, there's just some pretty crazy things, and it's really intense. And yeah, I'm not sure if it should have won Best Picture, but it did. So and
it didn't
I'm
win
fine
Best
with
Picture.
that,
It won Best Director.
Oh, okay. It's Best Director. Okay, well, that's fine.
Gladiator won Best Picture. Traffic won Best.
Okay,
Director.
Yeah. Well, none of them actually makes sense. Give a little love to each one of them because I'm a big Soderbergh fan. So because I think that like most of his movies are always unique and pretty different. So I appreciate that. So yeah, I'll say yes.
But if that Traffic is going to make the list, and it comes down to me, I was going to go one of two ways. I'm going to go this way because just like a few other people have done, they've gone for a movie that is probably lesser known. But I'm going for a movie called DOA, not the 2000s volleyball video game adaptation one, but this is from 1988. It's a fun neo noir movie which I actually first heard about because of Bibbs and Whitney, because they did an episode on their podcast about this, and you've got Dennis Quaid, Meg Ryan, Daniel Stern, and it's basically the plot is like this. It's basically a less raunchy version of Crank, so to speak, because basically this like college professor goes into a police station to sort of report his own murder because he's been poisoned, and then he recounts the past sort of first the part like he then recounts the sort of the lead up to that moment, so it kind of starts the end then goes back, and but it's a really entertaining like movie. It just because he drags Meg Ryan, who's on this case to try and find out who poisoned him and that, and just him trying to sort of keep moving just so he doesn't like die and all that. So it's one of those ones that I think it's entertaining. Like Daniel Stern plays a dastardly villain in this. Matt, what do you say about DOA?
Sadly, this is the first time hearing about this movie. But you bring up Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan are in it, and that jumps to the top of my watch list for Dennis Quaid because I'm a really big fan of another movie they did together in the 80s that I may or may not bring up soon.
I think if it's the one that I'm thinking of, I think that came out in the 90s, actually. I'm not sure.
We'll have to see.
We'll find out. Stephen, what do you say about DOA?
All right, so there's 2 movies of his that I'm like really sure I've seen but don't remember at all, and this is one of those. So I'm gonna have to abstain. But I think I remember liking it. But again, I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything of it. So I remember like one tiny little clip from the movie, but that's the only thing I remember of. But yeah, so I'll have to abstain.
Jordan, what do you say about DOA?
So I've never heard of it. This is the first time that I'm hearing about it. But you know what? This movie sounds really good. Like, this is one that I would want to see. Like, I'm a fan of all the Dennis Quaid, Meg Ryan, Daniel Stern, and yeah. And you know what? Every once in a while, I will say yes to movies I haven't seen. It doesn't happen that often, but I will on occasion. And this sounds good, so I'll say yes to it.
JPO, what do you say about DOA?
I've heard of it. I used to own it. I never put it in the machine to play though, so I haven't seen it. So it is a no for me.
Unfortunately, it's not going to make the list.
I tried, Malcolm.
Sadly, the director went on to make the Super Mario Brothers movie and never got a movie again.
But I mean, they probably got a lot of residuals from Max Headroom business. The co-creators of Max Headroom as well that was involved with this.
Yeah, I don't think there's much residuals from that.
But anyway, Matt, we go back to you. What is the next movie you're going to bring up?
So I was between 2, but I feel like I'll be able to get around to this other one. So I'm going to bring up the movie I was just alluding to, the other movie that Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan made in the 80s. In 1987, they did a little movie, a wink wink, called Inner Space. This movie is freaking awesome. If you haven't seen it, Dennis Quaid plays a test pilot who this company working with the military they create a shrinking machine, and he winds up in the body of Martin Short, who was like a hypochondriac. And basically through Martin Short, he has to use Martin Short to help get him out before he dies in there. And Meg Ryan plays his girlfriend, who's a reporter, who they had a big fight before this. So at first she's mad at him. But for Dennis Quaid, I think what is so impressive about this is because most of the movie he's in the machine, he doesn't have like he's playing off of Martin Short and all this, but like in scenes he's kind of by himself, and yet he's fantastic. He's funny. He's really, he's got that great heroicism to him. I have used the tuck method of, smacking yourself in the face to wake up. And also, fun fact, this movie is the first time that a selfie was ever done on film. It beat Thelma and Louise, which usually gets it, but right before Tuck gets in the machine, he and one of the scientists, they have a Polaroid and they take a picture. So yeah, Inner Space.
Stephen, what do you say about Inner Space?
I didn't realize Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan has actually done 3 movies together. This is not the one that when I hear Dennis Quaid, when I hear Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, I thought you were talking about Flesh and Bone.
No, I was talking about Inner Space.
But yeah, no, I haven't seen this one.
Jordan, what do you say about Inner Space?
Well, if you haven't seen Inner Space, Steven, do yourself a favor because Inner Space rules. It's so good. I saw it probably for the first time about 10 years ago. And yeah, I loved it. I think that it's really great. I think Martin Short's probably my favorite part in it, but Dennis Quaid is just right up there. And he's very entertaining with mostly scenes by himself. And yeah, just kind of seeing him navigate through his body, through Martin Short's body. And then of course, Meg Ryan is always good, and yeah, I think that's a lot of fun, and it's one that I've gone back to a couple of times since then. So yeah, I'll say yes to Inner Space. It's pretty easy. Yes, it's high on my list actually.
JPO, what do you say about Inner Space?
I haven't seen it,
Oh,
so no.
But I actually have seen it. I think I watched it for the first time when we did 80s sci-fi movies on Rankum actually. But yeah, I've actually been meaning to get back to give this a rewatch because it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember really enjoying it a bit. So it's a yes from me. Inner Space is going to make the list. Stephen, we go to you. What is your next nomination?
All right, I'll go with my next movie. I'll go with one that will probably no one's seen, so it probably won't make it. But 1997, we had a couple of really good serial killer movies, and one of them was a movie called Switchback with Dennis Quaid, Danny Glover, Jared Leto, R. Lee Ermey, and I think it's a really taut, suspenseful thriller. It's got these two storylines that are going separately before they collide. Which, the first storyline involves Dennis Quaid hunting down a serial killer, and the second storyline with Danny Glover and Jared Leto going on a road trip. Danny Glover picks up a hitchhiker with Jared Leto's character. And I think Quaid's really good in it, and I mean Danny Glover's also really good in it, and R. Lee Ermey's great too. That's a great supporting performance. Yeah, I think it's a really underrated movie of his. And if you haven't seen it and you plan on watching it, do yourself a favor, don't watch the trailer. It gives away too much.
Jordan, what do you say about Switchback?
I have not seen it, but but I want to see it though. It sounds really good. It's even got like a sort of an earlier Walton Goggins performance. I guess he's in it too.
Oh yeah, he is in it.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
And the cast all around is like, I'm looking at like almost the first row on the Google search, and like everyone's like pretty great. I mean, and yeah, so it's one that I'd probably like, but I just haven't seen it. So for right now, I'll say no, just for that reason.
JPO, what do you say about Switchback?
No, for the third time, I mean, I'm intrigued by these. This is another one I have not seen, unfortunately. So no.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by it. This is one of those ones that was probably really available to me. I probably would have checked it out, but yeah, I just haven't seen it. And Matt.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I do have to say, I would feel bad for Dennis Quaid if he watched this stream because he'd be like, "Man, I'm really intrigued by my fucking movies, but nobody watches them." I guess, I can't do that.
I still have 12 I like. I just. I was a Joe Dante flick too. That's cool.
Does anyone know? Does Dennis Quaid have Twitter? Because I want him to just make a tweet to where it's like, I was kind of intrigued to watch the stream, but then I didn't.
Well, funny enough, speaking of like something kind of close to that, when I was doing my research for this, I got onto Instagram, and the very first thing I see Dennis Quaid on his Instagram, because it proves that your phone's listened to you, and he's like promoting some product or like something like that. But he has an Instagram at least.
Well, there you go. Everybody send this to Dennis Quaid's Instagram.
Yeah.
But Jordan, we're back to you. What is the next movie going to bring up?
Yeah, so I think I want to try to champion one that I saw, and I was really surprised by how much I actually liked it, and I think that I mean, some people like it, some people don't. I think it gets mixed reviews, but I had a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna go with the Disney movie Strange World, and I think it's Disney or is it Pixar? I can't remember if
it's Disney. It's Disney.
Yeah, but I think that's a lot of fun though. I think that Dennis Quaid is like an explorer with his son, voiced by Jake Gyllenhaal, and then you get some other interesting players. You have Alan Tudyk being like the guy on the radio, and they're just going and like having these wild and crazy adventures, and they find like just like almost like, I don't want to say a planet, but this big thing that they're exploring and like flying around. And I think that's a pretty fun and pretty interesting and pretty unique tale that I really like compared to a lot of Disney movies that have come out recently that are original. Because this one is an original one that I thought was pretty good. I had a good time with it. Very colorful too. I really dug the animation in it too. So yeah, I'll say Strange World and see what you guys think.
JPO, what do you say about Strange World?
Hey guys, I wish I had seen these movies, but I just haven't, so I haven't seen. It's a no.
Look, don't feel bad about this one, because this is actually one that not many people actually did go and see. But once again, people wonder why Disney keeps going to like remakes, and that was like, no one sees the original stuff when they do one.
They should.
But yeah, I have seen it. I think I saw this on Disney Plus. I remember the marketing of this was not the greatest, or at least almost non-existent, to be fair. But yeah. But yeah, this is one of the I do remember liking a little enough. It's enough for me to say give it a slight yes too. But yeah, when it comes to actually ranking it, I don't know where it ended up. Matt, have you seen Strange World?
I haven't. This is no joke. I was house sitting and dog sitting for my sister's weekend, and I had actually planned to watch this today, but my allergies kicked my ass, and I was just like in and out of sleep all day. And I was like, I don't want to put this movie on because I know I will pass out. But I have seen that interview clip of Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal, where Jake Gyllenhaal completely forgot that they did The Day After Tomorrow together, and they were father and son, which is one of my favorite interview clips. Because you see Dennis Quaid just like, yeah. I was like, wait, what? So yeah, that's great. I have not seen it, but don't worry, I've seen the other time they were father and son, and maybe I'll bring that up later.
But Stephen, what do you say about Strange World?
I mean, in Jake Gyllenhaal's defense, they don't share a lot of screen time together. No. And in The Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Strange World either.
Well, Disney, congratulations. You got your point proven.
But
you still want original content. Some of us do.
But JPO, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
Yeah, we're all beating around the bush with like some of the best ones. Let's get to one of his best ones from just last year. Let's get The Substance on this baby. Yeah, crazy, kooky, all to the very end. And I enjoyed seeing Dennis Quaid do something a little more adult. I feel like the last decade he's done a lot of like wishy-washy films. So it's kind of nice seeing him like just eat and be a jerk and stuff like that. So fun performance by him. Great movie all around. Brought us back to Demi Moore. And the other girl's awesome too. So yeah, the Substance.
Demi Moore. I mean, The Substance is what I meant to say. but Substance is a really fun movie. It's one that that I was surprised I enjoyed as much as I did. And yeah, it was just one of those back ones like, and Demi Moore and Mark probably do play really well against each other, and yeah, and Dennis Quaid is just fantastic in the movie, so it's a yes for me. I'm not sure if Matt's there, but Matt, what do you say about the Substance?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, thing about me is I don't watch new movies and I don't watch horror movies. The Substance is both a new movie and a horror movie. But don't worry, JPO. In about like 3 to 5 years, I'll get around to it and I'll be like, "Hey guys, did you hear about this movie that came out?" And everyone will be like, "Yeah, we saw it in theaters, man." Like,
I'm the opposite. You tell me before 1990 I'm out. You tell anyone it's past 2020 and you're like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm too busy watching movies from 1980 and before. That's my problem.
I'm too busy watching recent releases. I know we've got to meet the middle somewhere.
There we go. Yeah. Together we make the ultimate movie watcher.
There we go. Oh,
we're like Sunfire of movie watchers.
We might make a good trivia team, actually. Yeah.
I don't know, Malcolm. I don't think I could do that to you.
He doesn't have to know. Don't tell him.
Stephen, what do you say about the Substance?
So funny thing is, I got Mubi. When I found out this was on Mubi, I got Mubi just to see this movie for when the Oscars were about to be on. But I didn't get around to it, and since I didn't,
I knew that show was going that way.
And since after the Oscars, I was really gonna watch it for the Oscars, and I just haven't. I'm paying for movies.
That's a very long way to say you haven't seen it. Holy shit! We get it. You haven't seen it. Jesus. Jordan, I know Jordan's seen it. Jordan's a good shit. Old and new.
Jordan, what do you say about the Substance?
Well, about 3 years ago, or wait, when did it come out? A year ago. I subscribed to a streaming service, and I was gonna watch it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the Substance is great. Yeah, I was looking at my rankings from last year, and I have it just outside my top 12 of the year. But you know what though? Like even now, I would even bump it up in there. The Substance rules. The Substance is just so good. I've watched it multiple times, and it's not for the faint of heart because it's like very grotesque and there's a lot of body horror in it. But I mean, but still won a lot of awards at the Oscars, and I think that it's definitely worth checking out. Even if you don't think you're really into that stuff, I'd still give it a shot just to see. I mean, if you're really not into that, I guess you don't have to watch it all. But yeah, I think that Dennis Quaid, he's great in it. I always think of the shrimp scene, and he's just like he's like very close of him, just kind of going haywire on some shrimp at a lunch or something. And then yeah, Demi Moore, she's awesome. Margaret Qualley too, and there's a lot of nakedness in it too. So if you want to see Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, go for that even. So yeah, but the movie's awesome. So I'll say yes to the Substance.
Do we get to see Dennis Quaid?
No, unfortunately not. So
what the fuck?
So if you're into that, then
what's the point?
Yes, we'll watch it.
Equality.
Yes, we'll watch it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Substance is gonna make the list. But I will say, I love that Steven signed up just to watch Substance, still ended up not watching it.
Well, he's he didn't win Best Picture, so how good can it be?
I'm still paying for it.
Still paying for it and not using it.
But yeah, it's on to me, and you know, it was referenced earlier, so I'm going to actually bring it up because I do think it's great. And I'm bringing up The Day After Tomorrow. I think this is a really great disaster movie. And I have a lot of fun with this. And I think Jake, and even though they don't share a lot of screen time together, I do think Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal play off each other really well. And yeah, and I think it's just an entertaining movie, especially just like seeing like them ramp up this like fantastical like disaster thing to hundreds. Like it was, but yeah. So Day After Tomorrow's my pick. Matt, what do you say about it?
Yeah, this was one of those movies that, what was it, last year, the year before, I was just in my library in the movie section. I was just kind of looking around for stuff, and I saw this on the shelf, and I saw it was Dennis Quaid, I'm a big fan of, Roland Emmerich, who did Independence Day and Stargate, and I read the little synopsis, and I was like, oh, what, I'll watch this, and I really enjoyed it too. It was kind of ahead of its time when you figure out it came out in what, 04, and it was talking about like global warming and everything, which now we're, unfortunately, we should have listened to Dennis Quaid like 20 years ago. Yeah, it does the Roland Emmerich thing of like, yes, global warming, but what if we did action version of global warming? But I was all here for it. It had, what's her face? Fiona from Shameless is in this. So you know, that's always fun to see. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal, he's really good in it too. Yeah, it was it's not as good as Independence Day, obviously, when we're talking about like disaster movies, but it's really solid, and Quaid's great in it. And you know, he sells like the scientists. Like sometimes there are actors who play scientists, and you're just like, okay, you're just reading off of cue cards right now. But he does sell when he's at the big kind of like meeting. So yeah, I give it a yes.
The worst one to sell a scientist was Denise Richard in Goldeneye. That was the worst scientist I've ever seen. Anyways,
Stephen, what do you say about The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah, it's good. I don't think it's great, but I'll give it a yes. I mean, I think, you know, I'd probably put it like low on the list, but it's good enough to be on the list.
Jordan, what do you say about The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah, I think The Day After Tomorrow is a lot of fun. Like I dig it, and it's certainly better than a lot of other movies we could bring up. And yeah, while you guys were talking, I threw up that Jake Gyllenhaal interview because I hadn't seen that. And he's like, wait, we were in a movie together? Oh, he's like, you just blew my mind. It's like that blew your mind. Okay, but yeah, and yeah. The part I always remember is like, I think they're in like a ship or something like that, and then the wolves come and like come and attack, and that's a fun scene. But yeah, it's kind of like just that like dumb, turn your brain off, popcorny kind of fun. So, and I like that kind of stuff. I don't always like to think too much when I watch movies. I'll do it once in a while, but more often than not, I don't like to think as much. I just like to just sit and enjoy. So I'll say yes.
JPO, what do you say about The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah, no, definitely this is yes for me as well. I remember being like legitimately kind of pumped for this movie when it came out in the theaters here, because we're still kind of on. I mean, obviously Godzilla wasn't great, but like, you know, Independence Day, and this is before we just started, you know, trolling out, you know, 2012 and 10,000 BC and stuff like that. So I was still kind of high on Roland at this point as well. So no, I like this. I think there's still enough characters at the forefront. So this was fun. I like this movie a decent time, especially for this list. It's kind of high for me actually on this list itself.
Yeah, I still think you should have held off 2012 to release it in 2012. But if that Day After Tomorrow is going to make the list, and we go back to Matt. Matt was the next nomination you're going to bring up.
All right, so I'm going to bring up a movie that when Dennis Quaid was asked what the best movie he's ever been in is, he said this one, which is The Right Stuff. This is the story of the Mercury astronauts, which, if you don't know your history, the Mercury astronauts, they were the kind of originators of the NASA program. Of, you know, they were what existed before the Apollo program. They were the, you know, they were all these test pilots or you know, marine pilots, whatever, you know, who were brought together to be the first guys to really venture out into space. Dennis Quaid, he plays the youngest of all the pilots, but he's fantastic in it. He's kind of this very like cocky and fun character. I just want to look up the actress who plays his wife in the movie, because she's fantastic in it too. I want to say it's Veronica Cartwright. And she's great, and the two of them have really good chemistry. I could be wrong. I know it's not Barbara Hershey. She's in it. And this is just one of the most stellar movies to deal with space. Like the way it's shot is beautiful. It's mesmerizing. This is a fantastic movie. It has we were talking about before we got on air. Some of us. It has one of my kind of favorite kind of like funny endings. If you know, and the film points out history, but if you know your history, and it has to do with Dennis Quaid when he's asked a simple question about who the best pilot he's ever seen is.
Stephen, what do you say about The Right Stuff?
Frequency is my favorite movie of his, but The Right Stuff is probably the best movie of his. It's great. I love these true life, space movies like. You've got this, you've got Apollo 13, you've got First Man. And yeah, this one, this should have won Best Picture. I don't even remember if it was nominated, but it should have won Best Picture over Terms of Endearment.
Oh, correction. It was Pamela Reed who played Dennis Quaid's wife, not Veronica Cartwright.
But Jordan, have you what do you say about The Right Stuff?
Well, I've only got one problem with The Right Stuff, and Ed Harris, he played John Glenn, but I mean, don't you think Scott Glenn should have played John Glenn? That would have made more sense, but but it all works out because the movie's really good, and I feel really dumb because there was a time in my life where I didn't really like old movies either, and so someone gave me a copy of The Right Stuff for my birthday, and I didn't even open it. I just went and sold it to one of those used DVD stores they used to have, and I regret that because now I've seen it and I'm like I once owned a copy and now I don't, and so yeah, but it's really good though. Yeah, it's a really cool just telling of this mission, the Mercury astronauts, and yeah, and it's also fun for the whole family, as we like to say in tournament fights. So yeah.
JPO, what do you say about The Right Stuff?
I haven't seen it, but I know the kind of lore around it. It is kind of one of his considered better movies. So this is the rare blind yes I will give.
I thought you were saying, "Oh, I know the lore of it." I'm like, what lore? You mean the true events that are well documented?
Yeah, I said that kind of weird. I just feel like I know it's highly regarded. Yeah. If you believe that kind of bullshit. Filmed on a stage. Y'all know it was filmed on a stage.
Stanley Kubrick directed that one, right? on a stage.
But to answer Stephen's question, it was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. It did win for sound effects editing, score, and actual editing. I haven't got around to it. I didn't really have time to watch 2 3-hour movies.
You picked the wrong one, Malcolm.
Wait, which 3-hour movie did you see then?
Well, we'll talk about it. Maybe I'll bring it up later.
Okay.
But this movie is actually only 2 minutes longer than the other movie I did watch for this.
And those 2 minutes are so well worth it.
So yeah, I do want to check it out, but this one wasn't really streaming anywhere for me. So it's like,
and it wasn't on YouTube for free.
I probably could have found it if I really I had other things I wanted.
There's always means.
We all know. If you just put in "Watch the Right Stuff" for free online, you did multiple.
Yeah. But
isn't there a ride in Six Flags that I don't know if it's in other Six Flags, but the one in New Jersey, Great Adventure, that's called The Right Stuff. Does that have anything to do with this movie?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say that Six Flags in New Jersey does not have a ride based on a 3-hour 1983 biopic. If they did, I'll go there and ride it, but I'm going to assume not.
Well, it's a simulator game. It's not like a simulator ride. It's not It's not like a roller coaster or something.
I mean, I'll look it up.
But the White Stuff is going to make the list. Stephen, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Oh, just real quick, that ride is based off of the Right Stuff. If you Google it, it is.
Yeah, well, it came out in the 90s, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they were trying to beat Star Tours. 90% sure that it is not better than Star Tours.
It's a good ride. But let's see. You know what? I don't know if this is the 3-hour movie that you're referring to, but I'll bring it up. It's a movie that got overshadowed. In the 93 and 94, there are 2 movies that came out about Wyatt Earp, and Tombstone is probably the better well-received movie. But I think the Kevin Costner one is really good too, and I think Dennis Quaid is also great as Doc Holliday, and it's a great western. So I'm gonna bring up my next pick is Wyatt Earp.
Jordan, what do you say about Wyatt Earp?
I'll say that I haven't seen it, so it's a blind spot for me. But it does look like that it features Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel again, so he's in it. So, but I have not seen it, so I guess I'll say no for now.
But JPO, what do you say about Wyatt Earp?
What he said.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, Dennis Quaid's been in other 3-hour movies. As far as I know, it's like this is his only other 3-hour movie he's been in. But yes, this is the one that I did watch. I just saw it on Netflix. Like what, I meant to watch this for the '94 letter series, but didn't. But I'll watch it now. And yeah, I really liked it. And it's one of those ones like maybe I'll eventually do see Tombstone. Maybe I will say Tombstone is better. Who knows?
Pretty even for me, actually.
But I still really enjoyed Wyatt Earp. I think it's great, so it's a use for me. But Matt, what do you say about Wyatt Earp?
Yeah, I didn't spend 3 hours watching the lesser Tombstone. Thank you very much. Okay, I don't need that. I love Dennis Quaid, but come on, Dennis Quaid is no Val Kilmer, and Costner is no Kurt Russell.
I mean, I will say that yes, Val Kilmer is better, but I still think Quaid is a great Doc Holliday.
I'm still mad that Malcolm decided to see this one before he saw Tombstone. I questioned our friendship now.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis Quaid isn't in Tombstone, otherwise I might have watched them both.
Maybe he is. Maybe he did a walk-on cameo role.
Okay, but if you haven't seen Tombstone, you need to see Tombstone for the '93 tournament fights.
Once again, maybe I'm planning on doing it. There's a lot of movies that I've somehow missed from '93 that I am going to get to for that letter series. But anyway, talking about the letter series, Jordan, what is the next Dennis Quaid movie you're going to bring up?
Oh, yeah. Should have had it ready, but I got a list of the ones I want to. Let's bring up. You know what? I'm gonna bring up one that I watched for the first time with my whole family because it's fun for the whole family. I'm gonna bring up Soul Surfer. So, and yeah, I thought the movie's a really good, very inspirational movie. It's actually one of the movies I like about a shark. I mean, it's not really about the shark itself, but it's about the attack on Bethany Hamilton, and she became to be kind of like a what do you want to call it? Just someone who went and spoke about these things and became like an advocate for that and a big competitor in the surfing world. And yeah, I think Anna Sophia Robb plays it really well, and then Dennis Quaid plays her dad in it. And yeah, I think that's a pretty fun little kind of biopic of sorts. And yeah, I think that you'll have a good time with it. I think that most people could enjoy it. So I'll say Soul Surfer.
JPO, what do you say about Soul Surfer?
Never seen it. No.
Yeah, I know I've heard of it. I just haven't got around to it. But it definitely sounds intriguing. But yeah, unfortunately, I've got to say, haven't seen it. Matt, what do you say about Soul Surfer?
I know for definite fact that at one point in the early aughts, I watched part of this movie on HBO Kids. And I remember Dennis Quaid like driving through like a mob of reporters, and that's kind of all I remember. But I'm not sure if I can give a yes based on the fact that I remember one random scene in a contest with Dennis Quaid.
No.
Well then, no, I'm sorry.
Steven, what do you say about Soul Surfer?
So when this movie came out, I went in thinking that it was, kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. It's gonna be corny, but it was surprisingly moving, and yeah, Anna Sophia Robb is great in it. Dennis Quaid and Helen Hunt are her parents. They're both really good. It's got some. I'm not a religious person at all, so I think this got some of that in it, and that's probably one of the reasons why I wasn't looking forward to it. But it handled it well, and I think it's actually really good. So I would have said yes.
But unfortunately, Soul Surfer's not going to make the list. And random fun fact I literally just found out is the director of Soul Surfer actually directed one of the many Baby Geniuses straight to DVD sequels. So yeah.
Well, Soul Surfer is definitely better than that one, then.
I'm not saying anything about the quality of Soul Surfer, but
no.
I am saying some of the quality of Baby Geniuses straight to DVD movies.
Yeah, there's been a shit ton of them, weirdly enough.
Because it's easy. Just take a baby's head and you just put it on a CGI body. And they're babies, so people are going to watch it.
In fact, I think there was a running joke for the 99 Letter series where Austin was showing up posters of all the Baby Geniuses sequels throughout the album. But anyway, JPO.
The poster that he showed that John Voight is in all the sequels, all the direct-to-DVD sequels. John Voight is there.
But JPO, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Go back to the movie now that he actually is legit the number one guy of, which doesn't happen too much on this list. Let's get the Rookie on here. It's a really nice, simple, but well-told sports story. He's a guy that, didn't make it back in the day. He starts to be a coach. And they go, well, if you told us to believe in ourselves, why don't you believe in yourself, coach? That kind of shit. So then he kind of goes back, and he's the oldest rookie now, potentially, that's about to be on the team. And again, it's earnest, but it's heartfelt, and Quaid's really good. I think he shines as this kind of guy who now has to believe in himself in order to help these kids believe in themselves. It's sweet. It's well made. The Rookie.
I quite like The Rookie. I think it's a really good, heartfelt story, and so it's going to be yes for me. Matt, what do you say about The Rookie?
I have not seen this movie, but I love a good cheesy 90s, or not 90s, just cheesy Disney sports film. I love them. So, and this is 100% on Disney Plus. So I'll definitely add it to my watch list.
Judging from Steven's under his name, I think he's in it. But Stephen, what do you say about The Rookie?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies of his. It's one of my it's probably my favorite performance of his. He's great in it. And out of all the sports movies that Disney did in that era, this one might be my favorite, actually.
And Jordan, what do you say about The Rookie? But no, I think. Yeah. But Jordan, what do you say about The Rookie?
Yeah. So that line, it definitely comes straight out of the Google synopsis that Steven has there for his tag, because it says a true story about a coach who discovers it's never too late for dreams to come true. So it's like
it's the
that,
tagline of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and I do believe in that. But and yeah, the movie's really good. I think it's fun, it's heartfelt, but yeah, and it's rated G, and for a G-rated live action movie, it's actually pretty good and not really cheesy like at all. So yeah, I'll say yes.
But that the rookie is going to make the list, and makes you realize he's been in a lot of movies that has that in the title.
Yeah.
But with that, it's back to me. And
you have to pick the other one that has the, so we can keep this going on our list. Do it.
I mean, someone might. I've got
the other inspirational family one. There's that.
Come on, man. Do it, Malcolm. Do it for the joke that no one can see except us.
Or just nominate whatever you want.
What I was like, because I dare say we'll get to that one anyway. But I'm bringing up a movie called Far From Heaven, which is stars Julianne Moore, Dennis Haysbert, and that, and yeah, this like pretty much like this is like a really good movie where it's like it's been a while since I've seen it, honestly, but it's one of those ones where like Kathy meets this like person, helps out and all that. And it's one of those movies where I think is pretty good, and yeah, but I do remember liking it, so I'm bringing it up. I'm really bad at explaining it. Matt, what do you say about Far From Heaven?
Well, Malcolm, after that explanation, I know for a definite fact that this is a movie and Dennis Quaid has a role in it. But I have not seen this one. But I want to say I was looking up like lists of Dennis Quaid movies, and I think I saw this one was kind of highly ranked. But I haven't seen it, so.
Stephen, it's got some from 24 in it. Have you seen Far From Heaven?
Unfortunately, I have not. And I do remember when it came out, and it got a lot of Oscar buzz, and I think Julianne Moore was nominated for Best Actress, but
yeah,
I never got around to watching it.
Jordan, what do you say about Far From Heaven?
Yeah, I will say that I have not seen it, and when I saw the poster, it looked like a movie from the 50s, but it's definitely not.
That's what it said in.
Yeah,
that
yeah. Yeah, it's set in there, so but it's not actually released then. So, and yeah, I just don't really know too much about it. But
next, you're gonna tell me Star Wars wasn't made a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Jordan.
Yeah. I mean, it was in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago. It's all relative, depending on what you feel like it was a long time ago. But I will say I haven't seen it, so I'll say no.
And JPO, have you seen Far From Heaven?
Far from it.
But Matt, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
This is not the one that I wanted to bring up, but I have to in order to maintain the joke. I'm bringing up 1998's The Parent Trap, which is great. This movie is fantastic. It's a remake of a Disney movie from the 60s absolutely no one has seen because this one came out. It's one of the early films of Lindsay Lohan's career. Dennis Quaid plays, of course, the dad who gets divorced from the mom, and they become the two shittiest parents in the world because they split up their twins and decide to never let them know that they have a twin, which it's screwed up. But Dennis Quaid is a lot of fun. Of course, he has that horrible fiance that Lindsay Lohan times 2 or Lindsay Lohan cubed. I don't know, whatever, doesn't like. And he's great. It's a lot of fun. I think if you're of a certain age, like I am, this movie was on ABC Family all the time. It was also a movie that, in the last few days of school, you would get the TV rolled in on the big tray. And you would watch this, and for I know for certain this was my introduction to Dennis Quaid, and it's a great one. So yeah, The Parent Trap.
Stephen, what do you say about The Parent Trap?
Yeah, I'll say yes. It's a charming, delightful movie, and still, um, probably still my favorite performance from Lindsay Lohan. She's actually genuinely good here, playing two completely different characters, and so yeah.
Jordan, what do you say about The Parent Trap?
Well, I'm starting to realize that, like, probably a good almost half of Dennis Quaid's career is these heartwarming family kind of movies. So he's done a lot of them, but I mean, but he's good in them. And yeah, the Parent Trap's good. It kind of falls just out of my personal 12, but some of them, the movies that we've said no to, and I got to bump up a few. So if I were to bump up one, I would bump up this one. But I do prefer the original with Haley Mills. I go to that one more. So some people have seen it, but yeah, and it's good. You know, it's not one I'm like going back to all the time, but it's decent. So I'll say yes to The Parent Trap.
JPO, what do you say about The Parent Trap?
Yeah, it was right on the cusp for me. Before we let a couple in that I hadn't seen it. It actually wasn't my 12. So because it's right on the cusp, I'll still say yes because I can kind of flip flop on this like kind of last couple on the round. So yeah.
Yeah, like this is one of the like there's not a lot of the movies that I've seen that I don't like. Like a lot of them I like to love, and this is at the lower end for me, but I do still really enjoy it. And funny enough, I don't think I've ever seen the original one. I think I watched this a lot as a kid, but it's great. So it's a yes for me. The Parent Trap is going to make the list.
Yeah, so I never saw the original, but I mean, It Takes Two is practically a remake as well, and that's The Parent Trap is a way better movie than It Takes Two.
Yeah, it's Take Two. I mean, they're not related, so they just kind of somehow look alike.
But Stephen, what do you say? What is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Well, I'll go with another sports movie he did. That's instead of baseball, this is football, and that's Oliver Stone's Any Given Sunday. Another movie with a stacked cast, and I know not everyone is a fan of Oliver Stone's, very in-your-face style of this movie, but it worked for me, and it's got great performances all around. I mean, I love seeing Cameron Diaz in bitch mode in this movie, and early Jamie Foxx role, he's great. And of course Pacino and Dennis Quaid playing an aging, star quarterback who gets injured. And so yeah, Any Given Sunday, really good, solid sports movie.
Jordan, what do you say about Any Given Sunday?
I'll say I've seen it. I'm just not a fan of that movie. I think it's like way too stylized and it's just like over, like really over the top, kind of unnecessarily to me. But the speech is an all timer. The speech that he gives in the locker room, it's like one of the speeches that's used all the time and highlights and different things, and it's good. But I'm just not a fan. So I even had this kind of higher just because it's one that I had seen. I even bumped it down a little bit, so I'll say no. Probably.
JPO, what do you say about Any Given Sunday?
This is one of those ones I've been meaning to rewatch. I feel like I've only seen like bits and pieces. I don't know if I've ever actually finished it, so it's got to be a slight no for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as JPO here, because I know I've seen that's the speech many times from this, but I don't know if I've seen the full movie. I couldn't find it anywhere for this to watch, so it's going to be a slight no. But Matt, what do you say about Any Given Sunday?
Yeah, so sad story. This is one of those times when I rented a movie from the library and then just never got around to to watching it. I do still want to see it as on my list. But yeah, unfortunately.
Hold on. Can we pause? If that's a sad story, give me your life. That's a sad story, guys. Hear me out. Get your tissues. I went to the library and I got busy. I never finished it. I had to return it.
Yeah.
That's sad.
You set that up when that was about to be way worse.
Unfortunately, the copy got hit by a truck and the frequency on it just didn't work anymore. And I was stuck in inner space and it got hit because there was so much traffic. And I thought I'd be able to watch it. I thought I'd be able to watch it the day after tomorrow, but then the substance was the right stuff. And I was just a rookie and I just felt like I was in the Parent Trap. Is it a sad story now?
It is. Actually, it's a cool story. That was really well done.
I thought you were gonna say that that you grew up watching with your dad, and then your dad got hit by a truck, and now
no, the whole joke was I was using our whole list of movies.
But Jordan, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
Yeah. Well, I thought that Steven was going to bring up a different football movie. That's not the one I'm going to bring up, but he does have another football movie he's in. But the one I want to bring up is different. I'm going to bring up the movie Dragonheart because it's a movie that has the theme song that's used in like everything. I think it's used in just straight up other movies. It's used in trailers. It's used all over the place, and it's good, like for good reason. That's a great theme. And I wish I knew who composed it, but it's really good. Because my guess would be like James Horner or something. But that's a guess. I don't know. But yeah, and just
Randy Edelman.
Oh, Randy Edelman rules. He did like Angels in the Outfield and like a bunch of like family movies in the 90s. Yeah. Yeah, and just a story about a boy who befriends a dragon, and voiced by Sean Connery, I guess. Which for some reason I don't remember the dragon like saying a lot, but I guess he does. But and yeah, and it's really, really good. It's really heartfelt. It's really just a cool kind of like epic tale that's done really well. And he has to protect them from like knights that are coming to kill him, and yeah, so it's kind of like he would be willing to sacrifice for him, so it gets the feels. And so yeah, I'll say Dragonheart.
JPO, what do you say about Dragonheart?
I definitely saw this when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it in like 25 years, so it's gonna be a no for me just because I feel like I've seen it.
And the sequels are also good. I would actually recommend the sequels to it. Yeah, there's like 2, I think, something like that.
It's a movie that came out in the 90s and made some money. Of course, there are sequels to it.
But yeah, I'm fairly certain I haven't seen it. Once again, this could be a movie I watched as a kid, just forgot about it. But yeah, so Matt, what do you say about Dragonheart?
Yeah, this is one of those movies that I watched for the first time this week before this, because I've been wanting to watch it anyway. So this was a good excuse. Yeah, I liked it. It's one of those fantasy movies that came out right before Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, so it exists in that interesting kind of like Willow era. And in that case, I really like it. Dennis Quaid is really good as Bowen. Who he's the knight who is still sworn to the old code of King Arthur when so many haven't, and he doesn't so much befriend Draco. Him and Draco just kind of decide to find a way to screw with people until, of course, they decide that they have to take down David Thewlis because the chick who wasn't Denise Richards in Starship Troopers gets them to. Yes, that's it. And she's great in this. The one thing about this is
naked.
Yeah, she's not naked in it, unfortunately. The one thing is I love Dennis Quaid, but I have no discernible clue what he was doing with his voice in this movie. If you've seen it, he does this weird, like, it's not even an accent, it's like an affectation, but maybe he was just trying to do like old timey like English, but I don't know. The worst part of this movie is David Thewlis, but it's got Sir Sean Connery as a fucking dragon, so you know it's got to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So it's a yes.
But I remember though that like one of the weird things in it is that I guess that the dragon was once friends with the bad guy, so he once gave the bad guy a piece of his heart. So now
he was friends with the bad guy's mom. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. So now he has to go toe to toe with David Thewlis as the villain, and if he kills him, then the dragon dies too because he has a piece of his heart. So it's
they share life force.
The most recent of the Dragonheart sequels came out in 2020, which is a surprise.
Yeah, and when did the most recent Starship Troopers one come out? Like last year? Like it's just it's weird, man. I'm being facetious.
But I gotta know.
But Stephen, it sounds like it's going to come down to you. What do you say about Dragonheart?
I was gonna say no because this was a movie that I know I've seen it, but I don't really remember that much about it. But I do remember enjoying it. The two things that I remember most about it is the score, and also Sean Connery's voice acting, which is great. So I'll give it a yes, just because I have some movies left on my list, but I don't know if any of them really have much of a chance of getting on the list.
But with that, Dragonheart is going to make the list. And we go back to Stephen. What is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Wait, didn't Jordan bring up Dragonheart?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is it me?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's all good. Just want to make sure. Hold on. I gotta move around my list now because we're letting stuff in. Okay. All right. Next up for me. All right. It's a Bradley Cooper one. He steals someone else's work, and it comes back to maybe haunt him. The Words. This is where Cooper was really firing on all cylinders here. Great performance by Zoe Saldana. What's his name? Jeremy Irons, and of course Quaid's really good too. So The Words.
I'm not gonna lie. This is one of those movies where I looked at on the list like, I don't think anyone's bringing this one up, so I didn't rush out to go check it.
It was me, baby.
Look, I will say that Davio does I am interested in seeing it just from the way JB hyped it up, but I haven't seen it. Matt, have you seen the?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Stephen, have you seen The Words?
You know what? I have. I don't have it on my list for some reason. I must have overlooked it when I was going down his filmography. I somehow overlooked it. I'm like, but wait a second. I have seen this, and I do like it a lot, actually. I think it's really underrated how it's telling a story within a story about and Jeremy Irons is great in it. I don't. It sounds like it's probably not making the list, but I'd give it a yes.
Jordan, have you seen The Words?
I have not seen it, nor have I heard of it. So I'm sorry. I can't say yes. Sorry.
I believe this is Movie Pass days where I'm just balling and I'm seeing everything. It was good.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. I did that. The one time I saw 4 movies in a day on a Movie Pass. I did that once.
Movie Pass was around in 2012.
Yeah,
I have to look at it.
Probably a little bit too early for Movie Pass, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, also hold on. I'm also an OG Movie Pass guy when it was more expensive too, so I was around for a while.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I just feel like I saw it in theaters and I couldn't see why. It doesn't scream as a movie I'd see full price. Is all I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
It was around back then. I watched that documentary, the Movie Pass movie Crash or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm a pretty OG subscriber. Like I remember getting the email and thinking, fuck, how much more is it gonna be? And then it was like $20 cheaper. And I'm like, when does that ever happen? When do you ever get emails telling you your subscription is about to get cheaper?
Yeah.
because I was spending 30 and I was happy with 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a movie pass was never a thing over here. Like, so
was
I remember
beautiful.
I remember hearing about it for the first time when I started getting into the trivia space and hear people talking about it. It was like this movie pass things. Like, I wish there was something very similar to here, but it is what
It
it
was
is.
awesome too because it was like
Yeah.
a card originally too. So like at Regal, you like
Yeah.
doubled down, and it was as if you
Got
were
the card.
spending money. So you then get points, and you have like free food every couple of visits. Like, oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, but
Those
do they have
were
an
the
unlimited over
days.
there, Malcolm? At least like a Regal Unlimited or AMC, like
We don't
stubs
have
or something?
Regal or AMC here, so
Oh, you don't? Oh,
Ah,
dang. Okay.
We just got the
it's
shy
worth
of
looking into.
theater. That's it.
Looking at
Yeah.
Fandango. I just do the Fandango one now, and I get like coupons every once in a while.
yeah. I mean, like at one of the cinemas here, they've got a thing there where you pay $20 a year and you get discounted movie tickets, which is probably the closest we're going to get to that. And we get points for every X amount of points. We can get a free movie or that.
Okay.
But with that, it's back to me. I'm going to bring up another sports movie that he did, which also stars Kevin Zeta-Jones, and it's got Uma Thurman and Gerard Butler. I'm bringing up Playing for Keeps, which, funnily enough, is another 2012 movie too. But this I thought this was a fun sports movie. Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid plays like a father of this coach. Gerard Butler takes over this like soccer team and tries to sort of like rebuild his relationship with his son and all that. And I think it's a pretty good movie. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, more than I thought I was going to, honestly. But yeah, Matt, what do you say about Playing for Keeps?
I've never seen it, but I do know for a fact this was that era of time when Gerard Butler just seemed to be saying yes to any script that was given to him, which led to one of my favorite celebrities reading tweets where it was, does Gerard Butler have like a massive student loan or something? What's all the shitty movies? Like, no, I don't have a student loan. I just keep doing shit in movies.
I don't think that era necessarily ended. He's kind of like Nicolas Cage. Like every once in a while, you're like, he's back, and they'll make like 2 more movies. Like, never
No,
mind.
you're right.
He's
But
back.
there was something. There
Never
was something
mind.
about like right after he does 300, he becomes like huge to where like he just was doing everything. It's like the bounty hunter, Playing for Keeps.
It was the
Gerard
classic.
Butler sits in traffic.
Whatever big budget movie was offering him big budget money, he was like, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
He read the classic. He read the checks before he read the scripts, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which, hey, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
But Stevenson in the chat hasn't seen it. But Jordan, what do you say about Playing for Keeps?
So I totally forgot this was a thing. Funny enough, I have seen this, and I forgot he was even in it. I didn't even have it on my list originally. And the only reason why I remember watching this is because I remember going on a date, and the girl just happened to have it on, and I'm like, I'm not gonna complain if I want this date to go well. So I'm like, I'm just gonna roll with this. And the movie was fine. You know, it's just like a very mediocre movie, but I just don't think it's one of his like top movies. And like really, if it were up to me, I'd be like, can we watch something else? But I didn't want to be that guy on a date, so I was just like, sure. And it's all right. So I'll say probably no.
JPO, what do you say about Playing for Keeps?
Yeah, the trailer never did much for me, so I never got to it. So no.
But if that Playing for Keeps isn't going to make the list, Matt, we go back to you.
All right. I'm bringing up a movie that was one of his earliest hits. Kind of a movie that really made him a named actor. I'm bringing up Breaking Away. This is a really good movie. This is if you're a fan of like coming of age like sports movies, and you haven't seen Breaking Away, you probably like it because this is kind of like the originator of a lot of the tropes and things. Basically, the story of these kids in this kind of small like dying town, to where nobody really leaves the town ever, and there's this big college there. But it's usually like all out of state people. And Dennis Quaid, he plays he was like this big high school like quarterback, but he never did anything of his life. He never went to college for it. But then there's this whole, the rich kids versus poor kids kind of bike match at the end. But it's really, really good, and all the actors are fantastic. So yeah, Breaking Away. Daniel Stern's in it. It's another movie they did together.
Yeah, I was Stephen, what do you say about Breaking Away?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't seen this one either.
Jordan, what do you say about Breaking Away?
So I was very close to watching it, but because we did a whole sports series on Tournament Fights where we covered different sports, and this is one of our like alternative type sports tournament. We did like football, basketball, baseball, and then we did like just other sports. So then including like cycling and all that stuff. I think we might have done like a racing one too. So it may have been in that one. I can't remember, but yeah, and I just haven't seen it, but. Yeah, so I can't really comment. So, no.
JPO, what do you say about Breaking Away?
It's from the 70s. I didn't see this. 70s, they didn't make movies back then.
Except Star Wars. They did make that
one. Yeah. That was the first
one. No. The first Star Wars movie came out in 1999. What are you talking about? Star Wars
yeah, right.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
It's so weird. They went 1, 2, 3, and then 7, 8, 9. It don't make any sense.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. I haven't seen it. Not that I would have been able to save it anyway.
Yeah.
But the director, this is like, it was like his first movie was Summer Holiday for Cliff Richard that he directed. Then he directed Bullet later on. This is like, so it's like.
Yeah, because directors back then did freaking everything.
Yeah.
They did anything.
Well, I mean, it's more of a case like nowadays you get the directors who are known for a certain type of movies, but now it's like back it's like they're just doing anything.
Yeah, nowadays you have genre directors. Back then you just had directors who just it was like, all right, here's the script, fine, I'll do it. This movie won an Oscar for like best original script or something.
Yeah, but Stephen, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
Okay. Let's see. I will go. My next one, I'll go with. No, it's a fun movie. It's not like a great movie, but it's a fun, remake. I never saw the original, but Flight of the Phoenix. It's got him and Hugh Laurie's in it. It's just an entertaining survival story, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Kind of running out of I have some guilty pleasures that I don't think are going to make the list, but that one's still an enjoyable one.
Jordan, what do you say about Flight of the Phoenix?
Well, dang it, Steven, I'm kind of running out of picks too, and that would have been my next one. So now I got to figure out what to do on my turn. But yeah, the Flight of the Phoenix it's pretty good. I remember seeing it in theaters when it came out, and but the like synopsis just makes me laugh because so it says on a flight over the Gobi Desert in Magnolia, Captain Frank Towns, played by Dennis Quaid, and a co-pilot played by Tyrese Gibson are unable to keep their cargo plane in the air when a violent sandstorm strikes, crash landing in a remote part of the desert. The two pilots and their passengers. Crew of oil workers and a drifter played by Giovanni Ribisi. So they just have Giovanni Ribisi in there as like a random drifter. That's all he is. Just like was he on the plane? I can't remember. I saw it once back in the day, but I guess he was on the plane. But it's just weird that he's the drifter. So
why is that weird? I'm so confused as to what that strikes me.
Because I'm just like, why is he a random drifter? Everyone's supposed to be there, but he's not really supposed to be there, or is he supposed to be there? I don't know. I can't tell. So, but anyways, yeah, they crash and they got to rebuild their plane, and yeah, it's a decent little movie, and I've seen the original too with Jimmy Stewart and Richard Attenborough, and that one's all right, but this one kind of improves upon it a little bit, a more modern tale. So yeah, I'll go yes for this one.
JPO, what do you say about Flight of the Phoenix?
I'm just trying to figure out Jordan now because I'm still a little confused. But besides that, I'd give it a yes. No, this belongs on the list here. This is the only Flight of the Phoenix I've seen, and I think everyone does a pretty decent job. Yeah, it's not maybe top 5, but it's worthy of a 12 for sure. So yeah.
Yeah.
Usually you're not going to find a random drifter in the middle of the desert. That just seems weird to me. I don't know.
Okay, but you're confused by reading the plot. Like, you haven't seen the movie.
So
I'm sure they explain in the movie.
I think Drifter is
What happened to Malcolm? You there?
Yeah.
I
think you cut out, Malcolm. Sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think like whatever plot synopsis you read, John, I think Drifter's not the right term to use. He's actually more of an was a hitchhiker on the plane. He was on the plane.
That's what the synopsis says, though. It just says a random.
Yeah.
And a drifter, Giovanni Ribisi. I don't know.
Yeah. But he was on the plane. Yeah, I have seen this. I actually really do enjoy this. I think it's entertaining. And yeah, it was. I remember watching this with one of my exes at one point, and yeah, that was my introduction to this. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good movie, and so it's a yes for me. Matt, what do you say about Flight of the Phoenix?
I haven't seen it, and honestly, I'm just more confused now about like this whole drifter thing.
Just dopey. Just watch a movie without being hugged up by semantics on a premise.
You'd be confused if you're in the desert and a random drifter showed up.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe not if I watch Play of the Phoenix or what.
Sure, yeah. But anyway.
Or
yeah.
Well, look, I will say if like a drifter happening to be randomly in the desert, I think is one thing, but this is a case he was on the plane. So anyway,
yeah, right.
moving on from the Flight of Phoenix is going to make the list, and we go back to Jordan.
Oh, well, now I got to figure out what to do because that was what I was going to bring up, and I'm just going to bring this one up because I did kind of allude to it before. I'm going to bring up his other football movie that's called The Express. So, and yeah, I think that movie is pretty good. It's got Chadwick Boseman in it. He's one of the football players on the team, but the main guy is played by Rob Brown. Ernie Davis is the character, and yeah, he's just like a super fast like running back that can just like run circles around all these guys, and yeah, he's really good. And Dennis Quaid, I believe, plays the coach, I want to say, but and yeah, it's a good kind of heartwarming tale, and also kind of going back to a time when there were a lot of racial things going on, so they got like more of like the black versus white thing kind of portrayed here. So yeah, I'll say The Express.
JPO, what do you say about The Express?
I haven't seen it.
I also haven't seen it. Matt, what do you say about The Express?
Oh, The Express. I haven't seen it.
And Stephen.
I haven't seen it either, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised at how many sports movies he's done, actually. Because there's still there's still one other sports movie that hasn't even been brought up yet.
Well, there's one movie that if it gets brought up, I'm be like, we're really stretching here. But
yeah, you know Jordan, I think we are going to be really stretching.
Yeah, we're already stretching. Yeah.
But JPO, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I got a nice one here. I bought this for $0.25 on VHS when Hollywood Video was going out of business. 102 Paul White's films that he was in. This one's in Good Company, along with Topher Grace. Hey, Topher Grace, second appearance on the show, and Scarlett Johansson here. Just a nice family, like workplace, like dramedy, if you will. Here, that again, I think it's just a very sweet, nice time. Like I said, it was perfectly. That quarter was well spent. I liked it.
This like In Good Company, like I know this I know it's probably one of the lesser kind of Ridley Scott movies, but I don't think it's terrible. I also really
Ridley
enjoyed
Scott
it as well.
movie?
Actually,
It's
no,
Paul
it
White's.
probably isn't. Oh yeah.
I literally
I
said.
think I was confusing it with
I was gonna say.
the Ridley Scott movie that he did with Russell Crowe. I think that's where it was.
You mean Gladiator?
No, a good year.
Oh,
Ah,
I don't think
Yeah.
Dennis
and you're
Quaid did
good
that.
confused.
yeah.
Well, I know it's not, and that's what I thought. So that's that. But yeah, In Good
It's that
Company.
Jeremy Piven one. The
Yeah.
kids.
No, I know the movie you're talking about because I have seen In Good Company as well. Yeah. I do really enjoy In Good Company. I do think it is a pretty like fun movie, and yeah, it's going to be a yes for me. Matt, what do you say about In Good Company?
I have not seen it.
Stephen, what do you say about In Good Company?
You know, I have to relook at his filmography now because this is the second movie that I don't have on my list that I have seen actually, and it's not great, but it's a decent little movie. So I'll say yes to In Good Company.
Jordan, what do you say about In Good Company?
Yeah, just because we've gotten to this point where we're really starting to stretch now that I have seen it, and it is decent. I mean, yeah, Topher Grace and ScarJo, and then Dennis Quaid is the boss and like really like the intimidating guy that Topher Grace has to work for. And yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I'll say yes. Sure.
But if that In Good Company is going to make the list, we got one spot left, which is going to make is going to make me one. Should I go for the one I know for a fact that Matt has seen, or should I go for the meme?
Go for the one that you like.
Do whatever you want to do.
Well, I mean, I like both. I like both the movies.
Go for the one you like more.
I wasn't saying it as a
The one that's actually
listen
going
to
to get
your
votes,
heart.
maybe. And yeah.
When it's calling.
Oh, go for the one you enjoy. That's what it should be.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was going to, but because I do actually enjoy this movie as well. I'm going for Yours, Mine, and Ours. The movie I watched it for the first time for this, and yeah, it's a really fun family movie. Which once again is another genre Dennis Quaid's done a lot of. Yours, Mine, and Ours.
He is a dad. It's not that
Yeah.
weird.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good movie. Like, and this is relationship for the kids and stuff. Like, fun seeing a young Danielle Pennebaker as well. And yeah, but Matt, what do you say about Yours, Mine, and Ours?
Yeah, I watched this for the first time yesterday. I remember it being heavily marketed when it was coming out. When I was a ye old lad, young lad, I mean, not old lad, watching Nickelodeon back in the day. It was a really fun movie, sweet little funny family comedy. I think Dennis Quaid and Rene Russo had some great chemistry, and I liked Quaid as the Coast Guard admiral who he has his family that's all tip top military shape, and then Rene Russo, her kids are a little bit more loosey goosey. And can they come together? Of course they do, because it's a freaking family comedy from 2005. But yeah, no, I give it a yes because I have seen it, and where I don't need to bring up one of the movies that I have on this list just simply because it's one of the few that I've seen that's left.
Stephen, what do you say about Yours, Mine, and Ours?
I've seen the original. It's a nice, cute little movie, but I never saw the remake.
Jordan, what do you say about yours, mine, and ours?
You know what? Like it is one that I've seen, and some of these other ones, yikes! I'm like, no, thanks. So yeah, and my mom was a big fan of the original one. She would watch it all the time, and I never really vibed with the original necessarily, but the remake I actually had fun with. So you know what? Yeah, I'll say yes.
And JPO, what do you say about yours, mine, and ours?
This movie sucks. Rene Russo hated it so much he said, "Fuck Hollywood, I'm out of this."
Right, but that yours, mine, and ours is going to make the list.
Boo.
But Matt, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
Yeah, I have two left. Honestly, that's why I was really scared. Next one I was going to bring up was Truth, which is the movie about Dan Rather and kind of the end of his 60 Minutes career. It's a really good movie. Another movie he did with Topher Grace. Dennis Quaid likes to work with the same people. I'm seeing a pattern here. And then the other one, the last one I was going to bring up, if I absolutely had to, G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra, because he's in that. He is in that, and he's credited. He's not like Brendan Fraser, where he's uncredited, so it counted. But it's okay. I didn't have to bring it up. And that thus completes the 10 Dennis Quaid movies that I've seen.
Just be glad, for the love of God, we didn't have to bring up A Dog's Purpose. I'm glad.
Stephen, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
I mean, there's still some decent movies for me left. I mean, I liked The Alamo. He did a movie in the late '90s that I haven't seen in a long time, and that's the only reason why I didn't bring it up. A movie called Savior. Something to talk about with him and Julia Roberts. Smart people. He was in Gang Related, and I liked that one with Tupac and Jim Belushi.
It's a movie with Dennis Quaid, Tupac, and Jim Belushi. All right, well, I know what I'm doing tomorrow night.
Yeah, right.
I enjoyed G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra. It's a guilty pleasure. Another one that's not necessarily, good per se, but I enjoyed was Legion, which is kind of like a religious Terminator. He does a fun Bush impersonation in American Dreams. That looks like about it for me. Yeah.
Jordan, did you have any honorable mentions?
Not really honorable. Can I do dishonorable, or do we not do that really? Because I've got a long list of those. I mean, I'll just say I also enjoyed the Alamo. That was good. Don't see the remake of Midway because the original is way better. And yeah, that's all I'm really gonna say, because there's the other movies I don't like, but I don't want to trash too many movies. So I'll just leave it at that.
JPO, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, movies that were better than yours, mine, and ours. I disagree. Midway's actually not that bad. Again, it's not great, but it's a good, especially it was fun in the theaters for just Roland Emmerich knows how to blow shit up. And have a few character actors you like in that. What to expect when you're expecting? I'm not joking. It actually takes another great ensemble. It does a couple things kind of bold, like the Anna Kendrick character, and it's actually kind of funny at times too. Chris Rock's in it. It's pretty good. I agree with G.I. Joe. He made a horror film a few years ago called Horseman, which is pretty good and very underseen. Pandorum, another horror movie that's underseen with him and Ben Foster, is pretty interesting. Gang Related, as said, yes, Tupac, Belushi, and Dennis Quaid. You won't even know it's Dennis Quaid until about 45 minutes in, because he's a hobo with a giant ass beard. I remember thinking, where the hell's Dennis Quaid? And realizing, oh, I've been watching him for the last hour. American Dreams, which is the other Paul White's film, kind of a spoof on American Idol and like all the goofiness that goes around that. A movie called Kin, which is pretty good. Legion, as said already too. There's some fun like B-ness to that. And Vantage Point is a decent action flick.
Okay, I loved Vantage Point for like the first 2/3. but I think the movie gets really silly and dumb in the third act.
Yeah,
A little bit, but at the same time, like it's still. I maybe at I just went along with the dumbest in the last half, and like you said, the first 2/3 is a decent action flick, so intriguing premise too. So if we're
I thought it
talking
was going
of
to
the
be
year, I
Matthew
wouldn't have mentioned
Fox's.
it. Of Dennis Quaid, yeah.
I thought it was going to be Matthew Fox's next big break after Lost, and I was like, wah, no.
I think part of the reason he didn't break more was his own fault.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was that whole thing he was accused of that kind of killed his career.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
was he accused of something? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's great as Racer X and Speed Racer, though.
I love
Oh, yeah.
Second Look episode.
good.
You guys can check it out. Playlist on this channel.
And for me, look, I put it on the thumbnail because I wasn't planning on bringing it up anyway. Movie 43. Look,
I would have argued he's not in the version majority of people saw. The version I saw, he's not even in. That's an international thing. So I would have argued he's not even in the movie. Actually, depending on how you watch it.
Yeah, I mean that's
two versions of that.
I mean that's not. Yeah,
there's the interstitials in between the skits. There's two versions. Yeah. There's the Dennis Quaid version where he's trying to like pitch a movie, and then the version all the Americans saw. The people that count. I'm just joking. But the version all the Americans saw was it's like kids watching like a band movie.
Yeah.
I
had no idea Dennis Quaid was even in it until years later.
I have seen whichever one Nostalgia Critic covered, which is probably the U.S. one.
Yeah,
I would imagine, unless they will call it. It's weird that like Quaid and is it Greg Kinnear? Is the other one?
Yeah, and
he'll get cut out in the U.S.
And in one of those interstitials, like Seth MacFarlane pops up in there as well.
Even weirder than they got cut out.
But Matthew Fox, he was arrested for an alleged assault of a female bus driver in 2011. Huh. I have no idea.
Yeah. Right. None of us wanted to bring it up, but glad you did.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say I alluded to it, but I didn't feel like you need to
purposely beating around the bush, and you're just like, and her name was Kitty Dickerson.
Here's what happened.
She was 17 of Chicago.
When you say he was accused of something, like you're going to be curious, like what did he do? Was he rightfully accused or wrongfully accused? I don't know.
This is not a conversation for the Dennis Quaid Rankum.
There's a few movies.
What we did.
I was going down his filmography. There's a few movies that I would have liked to have seen for this that I'm surprised nobody brought up. But I guess you guys haven't seen it like I have either.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one of those ones like. Because when I was making my list on Letterboxd for this, like there was a lot more movies that I thought he was in. Like I thought I'd seen a lot good.
I thought the same thing. Man, check Letterboxd. Like I don't know how you're like. I forgot that movie existed. Did you not look up his filmography? Like that's what you do when you're.
I came this close to watching The Big Easy for this, but I didn't get around to it.
That wasn't my question at all. But okay.
But anyway,
was it even a question you had? I don't know if it was a question.
But anyway,
I said did you
Malcolm
not look
has a question for all of us. Malcolm, what is your
question? I gotta go. Let's wrap this up.
Just quickly, the other ones that I would have brought up, like got pleasures for me because I do enjoy the remake of Footloose personally. But anyway, Matt, what do you have at 12?
So I have yours, mine, and ours.
Stephen, what do you have at number 12?
Dragonheart.
Jordan, what do you have at number 12?
I've also got yours, mine, and ours.
And JPO.
Yeah, well, the same people said these are the worst one here. Yours, mine, and ours. I would have gone In Good Company, but yours, mine, and ours is like I said, the same people.
Stephen, what do you have at 11?
I'm keeping Dragonheart.
Jordan.
Well, I'm sure Malcolm's going to say it, so I'll say it too. In Good Company.
JPO.
Nah. Dragonheart.
I'm gonna go In Good Company. Matt.
I can only go by the movies I've seen. So Dragonheart was lower on my list than the other ones I've seen that made our list.
That's sad. Well, I'm more of a fantasy guy than probably a lot of the community, so it's fine.
Well, it's again, I'm going by what I had because I can't vote on movies that I haven't seen. So
but Jordan, what do you have at 10?
I don't know why I even erased it because it's just out of habit because I just have In Good Company.
JPO.
Let's go with Right Stuff.
I'm gonna go In Good Company. Matt.
The Day After Tomorrow.
And Steven.
You wouldn't go with The Right Stuff if you'd seen it, but In Good Company.
Cool. I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, boomer. Did Katy Perry go up in the rocket? I don't think so. So how good can it be?
Yeah. Those astronauts. It was Stanley Kubrick that filmed it.
But JPO, what do you have at 9?
Let's go with The Right Stuff.
I'm gonna go with The Parent Trap. Matt.
The Day After Tomorrow.
Steven.
You know what? I'm gonna change it. I'll go with Day After Tomorrow as well.
And Jordan.
I'll go with The Parent Trap.
Which means we've got 2 votes for The Parent Trap, 2 votes for The Day After Tomorrow, which means JPO, which of those 2 do you want at 9?
Parent Trap. I'm not 4. I'll put that over Day After Tomorrow.
That'll be a quote on the DVD cover. Parent Trap.
I'm about to say 7 for the record.
But for me, just because I haven't seen it, frequency. Matt.
The Day After Tomorrow.
Steven.
I changed mine. I'm gonna go with Flight of the Phoenix.
Jordan.
Yes, Flight of the Phoenix.
JPO.
Right Stuff.
But Flight of the Phoenix is going to be at 8. Matt, what do you have for 7?
I have The Day After Tomorrow. It's also really messing with my head that you wrote out 10, 11, 12, and now you're doing the
some of my buttons are not
ruin my brain, man. But then just keep committed and write them all out.
You like to switch it up, okay?
What do you have at 7?
Day After Tomorrow.
Jordan.
I'll go with The Right Stuff.
JPO.
The Right Stuff, and Malcolm, I have an idea. For the next one, do Roman numerals. Really fuck with them. Go X high next. Oh no, wait, that's gonna go down. You know what I mean? V11.
Google Roman numerals and then do that.
I know my because of WrestleMania. Yeah. I know my Roman numerals pretty well. I went up instead of down.
I know my Roman numerals up to 6 thanks to Star Wars.
But I would have gone frequency, which means we've got a tie between The Day After Tomorrow and The Right Stuff.
Don't do Malcolm.
But I'm just going for the movie I haven't seen, unfortunately.
Do it. Hey, did Roman numerals too.
It's like even salt on the wound.
This is the greatest moment in Rankin history.
I don't know. Daredevil is still up there, right, Malcolm?
But Stephen, what do you have at 6?
Keeping Day After Tomorrow.
Jordan.
Well, the greatest moment in Rankum history is when we ranked The Wrath of Khan way too low for Matt on the Star Trek episode. So yeah, but I have The Rookie.
JPO.
Inner Space.
I haven't seen it frequency. But Matt.
I'm just doing it because I think JPO will be annoyed. The Substance.
Oh.
So we have a
You haven't
5-way
seen it.
tie.
We've got a 5-way tie.
Hey, you haven't seen the right stuff.
Wow.
All right, email me when you've
5-way
seen Substance,
tie.
and I'll watch the right stuff.
There we go.
But
Time to break up the wheel, right? No.
Well, no, we've got some Leo's in the chat. So
Okay.
So Leo got
Hey, Leo.
frequency. We got the Substance. Got Day After Tomorrow. We got the Rookie.
Inner Space.
And Inner Space. First comment I see would be the one that decides it.
If he picks Inner Space, I hit the
No.
person to say it was Inner Space.
And even Brian would want it.
Wait, was it Inner Space?
You said The Rookie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. JPO said Inner Space.
God damn it. You know what? I could have lied. But I didn't, and now I lose. There goes my number 1 and 2. That's fun.
But the Rookie.
Well, at least my
Leo's a
number 1 made
frequent
it.
viewer of most of our channels. I feel like he's on ours a lot. So hey, what's up, Leo?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think he may have down to him slightly might for me because Leo's. I know Leo's been like here a long time, so.
Oh, nice.
But it's good to have him
Yeah.
here too.
It could have found us from you, yeah.
Leo, you could have picked another movie aside from Inner Space,
but no, Leo didn't pick Inner Space. Leo picked the Rookie.
Oh,
I've been trying to tell you
thanks,
that.
Leo.
Read.
You know what? I'm an idiot. So, but Leo, if you've been watching Take 3 for long enough, you know that.
But Jordan, what do you have at number 5?
Number 5, let's finally do it if we can. The Day After Tomorrow.
JPO.
Inner Space.
Just because they haven't seen it frequency. Matt.
Oh, I'm still sticking with the joke, The Substance.
And Stephen.
Day After Tomorrow.
There we go.
After tomorrow. JPO, what do you have at 4?
Inner Space.
You know what? I'm actually going to change mine. I'm going to go to Inner Space.
This is a first.
Oh, how dare you!
And that's what you pick. All right, now.
Yeah.
Matt.
I like how you still showed your board.
Stephen.
Let's make this interesting and make this someone will have to break the tie for The Substance.
And Jordan.
Well, they're going to really have to break the tie because I'm going frequency.
Which means we've got 2 for Inner Space, 2 for The Substance. So, Jordan, The Substance or Inner Space at 4?
Inner Space, I guess. Just because what it's going up against.
Oh, come on. I guess top 4 ain't bad.
Yeah.
But we've got Frequency, Traffic, and The Substance left.
3 great ones. Yeah.
And it's me first, and I'm going back to Frequency. Matt.
The Substance? I
Um,
haven't seen any of these 3, so I really just blindly picking.
Oh, geez. Mention the 3 best ones on the list.
Should I just stay absolved from voting now, Malcolm?
I mean, you can keep voting if you want. It's up to you.
I don't really feel like it's fair.
But Stephen, what do you have at 3?
I mean, I love Frequency and Traffic. I don't usually go for movies I haven't seen, but I love Frequency and Traffic. So substance.
Jordan.
Just vote for the movies, Matt, in the order that you'd like to see them. You could do that, but I'll go frequency.
And JPO.
For number 3, yeah, frequency.
Frequency is going to be at number 1. Number 3. Now it's time to vote on number 1, and it's between Traffic and The Substance.
All right.
Both movies about drugs.
Yeah. Yep.
But Matt, out of the two, what would you rather see?
I'd rather see Traffic.
Stephen.
Traffic.
Jordan.
I'd rather see The Substance.
JPO.
This has gone perfectly. Traffic.
I will go
together.
But The Substance is going to be second.
Top 2 is not bad.
Yeah.
This is my top 3, so in order. So I'm
Yeah.
cool with this list.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun when that does happen. And it's rare on Rankum,
Yeah.
but it's fun when you're like, oh wow, cool. And I didn't even have to convince other people to get that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, my number
My
one. at
top
least
3,
made
but
it
just
on the
out
team.
of order. Nice.
But I will say, after doing a few weeks of having like really quick rankings, because so it's been a lot of fun actually having a rank like a good rank.
It's really good. Dennis Quaid has been making movies steadily for the last like 50, almost 60 years. So there's no
Yeah,
way
a long
we've seen
time.
all of them.
Yeah. But our top 12 Dennis Quaid movies we've got here. We've got at number 12, what Yours, Mine, and Ours. At 11, we've got Dragonheart. At 10, we've got In Good Company. At 9, we've got The Parent Trap. At 8, we got Flight of the Phoenix. At 7, we got The White Stuff. At 6, we got The Rookie. At 5, we got The Dash and Mo. At 4, we got Inner Space. At 3, we got Frequency. At 2, we got The Substance. And our number 1 movie is Traffic. But that is the end of ranking for this week, and we go from a long one to one that's probably going to be like less than an hour, but it'd be fun to talk about this franchise. But we're doing the franchise. We're going to be ranking the Final Destination movies.
Yeah. Haven't seen the new one yet, but definitely will.
Nice.
Yeah. But Matt, where can people find you online?
You guys, as always, can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter. Kearns Matthew on Blue Sky. You can find me on YouTube at MattMovies611, and of course, right here as host of Second Look, episode in the works on Jaws 3, starring Dennis Quaid. And also, you can find me as the co-host of Simple Tricks and Nonsense with Abe Flores. We go live whenever we decide to. We're going to try to go live this week so that we can talk about the Thunderbolts, because I have thoughts and feelings on it.
Nice.
So yeah,
there you go.
Stephen, where can people find you online?
I mean, I don't have anything coming up in the immediate future, but I'll be in tournament fights for the 93 ladder series. I think that's in July, right?
Yeah, July. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where you'll see me next.
Jordan, where can people find you online?
Well, first, I just want to say, if you guys haven't seen it, you should check out. There's a new series called Happy Face that's got Dennis Quaid in it, and it's really good. It's on Paramount Plus, and it's about this girl who finds out that her dad is a serial killer, and then he plays like the inmate, and you see him in jail, and it's
he's really making us wait for this this log line.
Yeah.
He is on a hot. Yeah,
he is. Yeah, but just in the immediate future, we're doing Zach Shelton's top 128 favorite movies all this week, a 3-part series. And if you know Zach, he's got some wild takes. He's got some wacky stuff on there, and it'll be pretty interesting. Yeah, and then we'll be doing. We got a battle of the Chris's going on after that. That's going to be Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, and Chris Hemsworth. All their movies in a tournament, and we're going to feature one from the MCU of each. I think we decide, and the rest will be just other stuff. So, yeah.
JPO, we can view from you online.
Yeah, guys, we just completed the 2025 King of ASAD movie trivia tournament. It was a big one this year, 32 competitors. So if you haven't seen that, go catch up on that. Over at the Wrestling Channel, we're starting the King of Wrestling trivia tournament, and that's actually happening in just a couple minutes. Michael Turner versus Tim Smith in his debut. Round 1 is just the wrestling tournament that's just begun, and other shenanigans on those channels. Friday, June 13th, RPW returns to Fort Myers, Florida. Some real action wrestling. Check it out. AEW, former AEW star Ryzen, former NXT star Sawyer Fulton, FIP World Champion August Artois, and me. What more do you want? Come on.
Nice.
And you can find me on Tape Productions hosting Ranking every week. Next week we'll be doing the Final Destination franchise. And you can also find me on my personal YouTube channel, Malcolm Smurf Media, where I host Spear from the Past. I'll have Eric Ibarra Moreno on this week to talk about Backlash from 2021. I pop up on Movie Net from time to time, and yeah, so should be a lot of fun. But for now, we're going to Margaritaville.
Margaritaville.
I don't want to go to Margaritaville.
Come on.
I don't want to go to Margaritaville.
Oh, every